There goes a sight from my soul.
Yeah, what's up? What's good? What is happening? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am the actual King Smith, and this is a vlog video where I come on to talk about whatever the funk I want to talk about. All right, it's been a minute since I have streamed on my platforms with my programming, but we are here today. It is Thursday, May the 23rd of 2024. And I came across a video that went viral on TikTok that hits all of the things that I talk about around fatherhood and things like that. So I wanted to go and have an impromptu live stream to everybody out there to see if they agree with what this guy said and did or not. All right. But before we get into the live stream and to the main topics for the day, I'm streaming on multiple platforms. Okay. If there's a like button on the platform that you're watching this on, do me a favor, mash that like button. That helps me out on the algoros, also known as the algorithm. Right now, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, X, Perry Productions Facebook page. Shout out to the homie for allowing me to use his platform as well. Kick, Twitch, we own all of them. All right. Let me see if my sound effects are working. I don't think y'all heard that. I can never get my sound effects to work right. All right. Hope y'all are having a great Thursday, as I know I am. Now, we're going to fix these sound effects. Hold on. 1, 2. Yeah, I can see y'all heard that. All right. Who we got in now? We got God Happen to Be My Boo Thing, aka My Boo Thing is in the building. We are going on a trip this weekend, and I am looking forward to it. Hitting the Sunshine State, if you will, and catching up with some of the homies. All right. Now, we're going to go right into this video. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Okay. In this video on I Am TV Int, this guy wrote a caption that said, "Nobody can hurt your feelings more than your own kids." All right. Now, since he put his own kid on social media, I am going to play the video as it is on his viral TikTok page. I normally don't try to put kids out there, but for this one, it's already viral. I don't know if the father's going to live to regret this, but I kind of agree with what the father said. Let's tap in and let's get this discussion started. Play video. What you doing? Man, I do all of this to get this thing set up, and the video don't even want to play. 1 second. We gonna fix this. Let's click stop sharing. And bring it. This is why you gotta have a backup plan. Plan A don't work, go to plan B. Boom.
I want the world to see this person right here. This is my son. People, I ain't never heard nobody talk about this, so let me be the first one, because I know I can't be alone. This boy is 12 years old. I've been in his life, all his life, except for the times that when his mama kept him away.
All right. He said that his son is 12 years old and that he's been in his son's life the entire time, except when his mother kept him away. Now, people that don't know, right? If you're out here having kids, children with people that you're not necessarily having a nucleus family with, if you get the courts involved, you can have a co-parenting plan that can be effective in things that can work for both sides of the party, because you're basically agreeing to something and you've got the court backup in case somebody doesn't honor their part of the agreement. But if you don't have the courts involved, things can get tricky when somebody doesn't want to honor what y'all agreed to do. But this guy said, hey, I'm in my kid's life. Sounds like he has like a 70-30 split with the mother. And so far, no issues.
You know, this boy had the nerve to say he don't like me and don't want to come to my house, and that he missed the times with his family, speaking of his mama family, and not his daddy side of family, like we don't exist, right?
Okay. So apparently they had a falling out. All right. Little kids can tend to run off on their mouth on feelings, especially when they don't necessarily get their way. Up to this point, he hadn't necessarily said what caused the falling out or what caused his son to say, I don't like being here. But he expressed it to his dad. All right. Let's keep listening.
So he said this is taking up time. He said the 2 days that he spent over here feel like a whole week.
The kid is tripping. All right. Maybe his dad's being the disciplinarian. Okay. In this short video, we don't know. But the son said something about his the 2 days that he's got him, typically on the weekend. It's feeling like it's way too long. Okay. I don't know if he's not having fun, not necessarily knowing what's going on.
And then he's not even looking forward to the 30 days he had to spend over here for summer. He said he don't want to come over here.
All right. They call that a typical parenting plan. If one parent has your child primarily, right, like during the school year, it's typically you with the one parent on the weekdays, the other parent on the weekend, and then during the summer, the other parent will primarily have the kid for the entirety of the summer, swapping every other weekend. I didn't learn until I'm with the family court that was called a typical parenting plan. All right. Unless it's a true 50-50, a typical parenting plan involves a 70-30 split like this father in this video just described. Let's keep listening.
At all. Like, I'm a bad person. Like, I've traumatized him and did anything wrong to this little boy. We have done so much stuff, so much fun things. Spend time together, play basketball together, go amusement parks, go swimming, take riding in toys like this.
Okay. He started to list all the things that he's done for the kid, right? Things that the child has taken for granted because in a moment of the child being angry or mad about something, he wants to tell his dad, I don't like being here. Like all he does is have him sit around the house. He's like, man, I've taken him to amusement parks, events and things. It looks like he has a nice, maybe a 2-3 car garage where they're building on little ATV style type vehicles and going out and having fun with them. So it's not like this man's not doing anything for this kid to pop off and say, I don't like being here.
And he had the nerve to choose his mama. Look at the camera, Gabe. Choose his mama over me like I'm around here treating him wrong. What kid don't want to be around their daddy?
Who? So far, I've agreed with everything this man has said, with the exception of him saying he wants to choose his mama over me. I think that was wrong. That's the one thing in this video that so far I have not agreed with what this man has said. I don't agree with him filming his kid like that either. I think if you want to express this message, express it with the camera facing you. Don't put the camera out towards your kid like that. The kid the entire time has had their head down. Okay? He probably said something prior to the dad pulling out his phone and saying, you know what? No, we ain't doing this. And then as the dad is coming out expressing his feelings, his side of the coin, now the kid's just standing there in shame. And I'm going to highlight some of the TikTok comments here after the video's done. It's only about maybe 45 seconds left.
Please tell me. And as a dad, it is hurt because I know his mama got something to do with it too. But still, he's old enough to make his own decisions. And he chooses mama over his daddy.
Again, that's something that I don't agree with. He said he chose his mama over his daddy. It should not be about having to choose one parent over the other. Okay? The two people came together, bumped uglies, and produced this kid. All right? That's how nature works. Now, if you and the other parent don't have a relationship with each other, that's fine. That still doesn't mean that this child should be deprived of the opportunity to be around both of his parents. Okay? And there are a lot of men out there that are doing the best that they can. They either made oh man, how do I say this? It's not necessarily people making a bad decision when a relationship doesn't work out. I've said very publicly on a lot of different platforms that people don't necessarily family plan, right? Folks don't really family plan properly. Okay. So for him to say that his son is choosing his mama over me, that's the wrong message, player. He also stated in the seconds that I just played that he know that his mom has something to do with how he feels. I'm gonna see if I can play that back.
Kid don't want to be around their daddy. Please tell me. And as a dad, it is hurt because I know his mama got something to do with it too. But still, he's old enough to make his own decisions. And he chooses mama over his daddy, his flesh and blood. Somebody that can teach him how to be a man, but he want to be up on a woman all day. Look at the camera, Gabe. Tell the people how you don't love your daddy and how you rather be with your mama, and time over here is boring and you don't want to spend time with your daddy.
I really would have loved to have known what the child actually said in totality before he put the camera on his son. Okay? Again, for 90% of his message, I agree with. I don't agree with pointing the camera to the kid, and I don't agree with him putting the mom against him. What he said about choose my words carefully, King. What he said about women or moms poisoning their child's thoughts about their dad, that happens way more often than society wants to talk about. And typically, what will happen is as that child gets older, right? If the dad is actually a solid dude, he'll allow the child to have an opportunity to get to know him. And most men don't highlight the fact that their child poisoned their kid's thought against them. They just get tired of fighting the negative words and subtle jabs that are keep being thrown at them. So they just say, you know what? I've done all that I can do. I forget what comedian it was, but there was somebody that was on, I think it was Club Shay Shay, that talked about how he realized when he got older that his dad was actually a really cool dude. And was it Ricky Smiley? I forgot who it was. But the mom ran the dad off. The child came back into their dad's life later on in life and realized, hey, my dad was actually a solid dude. My mom just ran him off. It happens way too often, but people don't have the balls to call it out. I'm calling it out.
Tell people how you don't want to spend time with your daddy.
I do.
And He act like I haven't been picking him up all these years. Like, what is the problem? Like, this not your first time at my house. But yeah, he hurt my feelings, world. He really hurt my feelings, and you can't take that back, Gabe. I'm gonna give you what you want, and I'm gonna erase myself out of your life. I'm gonna give you what you want, Gabe.
All right. That's another part that I always tell people. If you don't want me around, I ain't gonna be around. If my own daughter formulated the words out of her mouth to where she ever said the words, I hate you and I don't want you to be around, I will give her that wish. I'll give her that wish. A lot of people say, oh man, you shouldn't do that. But no. Things said when you're angry and in your feelings matter. It matters. To tell somebody, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be around you, it can hurt. I'm also the type of person that if you said it, I'm going to believe that that's how you actually feel. And a lot of other men are starting to operate this way. So when he said, hey, if you want me out of your life, I'm going to give you what you want. Go forth and be well without me. I'm all about that. I'm all about it. Now, there are some comments here. We got Grooming and Reviews 101 over on YouTube said, yo, hey, I appreciate you tuning in. Gotta happen to me said, honestly, if this is how he reacted, maybe something happened before similar to this, and that's why the son felt this way. Okay, I can rock with that. And God happened to be also followed up by saying some things need to be addressed in private. Yes and no. Yes and no. Too often, things are done in private, and you do it more than once. But also, like, men don't necessarily keep receipts, so to speak. Typically, men don't keep receipts. So you can show up, keep doing what you're doing, not get any acknowledgement, because we're not seeking acknowledgement when we're spending time with our kids, when we're taking them out to the park, when we're talking about life things in general. We're not seeking acknowledgement. But the first time something goes wrong, you want to throw out everything that I do for you. Okay? And I'm not saying like this is the dynamic that my child has with me. I'm saying a child to a father that's trying to be present. All right. Grooming and Review said, if I say I have a better beard than you, I'd agree. Your beard is better than mine, brother. All right. So I'm going to play these last few seconds and then play the follow-up video. And if anybody wants to come up and talk about this, I'll drop the link.
That is so messed up on so many levels. I would never tell my daddy nothing like that. My daddy was in my life. I would never tell my dad, because I know that would hurt my daddy's feelings. I would never tell my daddy nothing like that, ever.
All right, so that's the end. I'm going to go back to the very beginning on what he said.
I want the world to see this person right here. This is my son. I ain't never heard nobody talk about this, so let me be the first one, because I know I can't be alone.
He said, I know I'm not the first one to talk about this, and I can't be the only one, and I know I'm not alone. All right, let's take this off the screen. More men are starting to highlight this type of behavior. I think in the past, actually, I ain't gonna say I think, I know in the past, they've just accepted it. They've taken it, right? They're like, you know what? I know they tripping right now. They don't mean that. No, Hold people's feet to the fire and keep them accountable. You said what you said. Why? Let's talk about it. This dude chose to put the camera out towards his son, but in the next video that I'm about to play, he's going to talk about why he did what he did. Now, full disclosure, I haven't watched the next video that I'm about to play. I've watched the first video all the way through, but this next video I have not watched. But let's see what the comments are saying on this one. God Happened to Me said, but what I mean is that Gabe is a minor and the mother could very well use this to get full custody. Phew. Good point. Good point. Family court is a tricky thing. Okay. And I would rather use discretion so that I'm not giving the other party ammunition to be used against me. And recording both audio and video are one of those things that a magistrate or a judge could be used to say this person's not fit. And it's so subjective. I think it's so subjective, right? Because I heard some people in the comment, or I read some people in the comments say that this was abuse. I'm like, no, I don't think it's abuse. What do you think? You just blasted your son virally. Say the things, but hide the child's face. To be clear, my issue isn't him sharing his feelings or even feeling this way. My issue is showing his son's face in this manner. A good lawyer could argue child abuse. And other people felt that way in the comments on TikTok. So let's get to this second video in which the dad explains why he did what he did. And this video is a little bit longer, so I'm just going to let it run all the way through.
I see I ruffled a lot of feathers, and I don't care. Look at this up here. Dude telling me, Dad, talk to him one-on-one. Get the camera out of his face. You talking to a grown man. I'm a grown man. Don't tell me what to do. And I've been private and talking to my son for 12 years now, and it got me nowhere. I've even put his mama private, talked to her private, and it got me nowhere. No more private. Do y'all realize if we come public with a lot of topics, there wouldn't be rapists and sex offenders and stuff, and this stuff be happening in the households. Y'all keep private about stuff too much. You need to start becoming more public with things. And these are one of the topics that is real sensitive to people I see, and I don't care. It needs to be said. And men that want to say things that didn't say it, they see now like, okay, finally somebody shed light on it, and that's me. You feel me? Looking at my messenger, man, that touched my heart to see men taking out their busy schedules, saluting me, keep encouraging me. You know what I'm saying? I know people gonna say things negative in the comments, and for the ones that are talking negative in the comments, are bitter baby mamas that talk shit to the kid about their baby daddy, or men who are mama boys. So I ain't even affected by it. You feel me? I don't feel bad about it. It don't take the hurt away. I've been hurting for 18 years. Mind you, I have 7 kids. I'm not bragging about it, but I do claim my kids. And, you know, I love all of them. You know, if they want to have a relationship with me, cool. If not, they don't. But I feel like the mama is a big factor in why they don't want to have a relationship with me. So for 18 years, to my core right here, I feel it. For 18 years, I've been hurting. I can't relate not having a daddy because my daddy was in my life, but I can only imagine the hurt that a man is having that wanted to break that curse. They daddy wasn't in their life, and they wanted to break their curse and be in their kids' life. But you mamas is talking down and making the kids feel some type of way about their daddy, so they don't want to be in their daddy life. Because I think where it comes from, the source is because the mother didn't have her dad in her life, so she don't know how important that is. You feel me? She really don't know how important it is. Maybe she should go back and ask her mother, Mom, why my daddy wasn't in my life? Go ask your mama. I guarantee you it's an ongoing thing because your mama was keeping you from your daddy. You know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, this got to stop, man. It really do. Call me the Kevin Samuel, a bit of baby mamas and sorry kids that don't want to be in their dad's life. I'm here to stay. I'm not going private no more. I got more content coming. I'm about to give y'all stories for this whole 18 years of me hurting, man, and my experience. So y'all stay tuned.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, hold on. Whew. Okay, so he said he got 7 kids. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, be fruitful and multiply, or whatever it say. Whatever. All right. But you have more than one kid with what I'm going to assume more than one lady. Okay. So, as what God happened to me said, where is your accountability at? I can't understand these men that don't get choosing a lifestyle that doesn't actively have them in their kids' life and then complaining about the way that they don't have as much influence as they'd like to have. Yes, you're in your children's lives. All right. Bravo. But you're not going to have the same influence that you would have if your child was under the same roof as you. How are these men not getting that? Why are women sleeping with men that do this? Somebody answer that question. It's 2024. Why haven't we figured this out? God happened to me said for 18 years, you've been popping out kids with women who continue to treat you poorly. Sir, you are part of the problem. Let's put that back up on the screen. You are part of the problem. Come on, man. We can't keep having a big butt and a smile, create life, and then wondering why you don't have as much influence in that life. I don't get it. I don't get it. I try to avoid people like that. I try to tell people, avoid people like that. The guy might be a solid dude as far as somebody that's cool to hang out with. Sound like he from Louisiana or Texas in just the way that he talks. Okay. But that follow-up video, trash, trash, trash. Send the asteroid. Wow. Okay. Now, if anybody want to come up and talk about this, I am going to put the link out there. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to come up on your side, but that's a link to join in. You don't have to be on camera if you want to come up and give your perspective on this and make your voice heard. But I do have to see you on camera in the back room, okay? Just to make sure that you're not somebody that's going to come on and do or say something ignorant. But I dropped the link if anybody wants to join. And while I do that, I'm also going to share the screen here, and we're going to read some of the comments on the original video. All right, there's a guy right here, Bodied by Chico, said the bonnet and flip-flops on the son says it all. And what he means by that, let me see if I can zoom in on some of these comments. Zoom in. Okay, let me see how that looks for y'all. Oh yeah, that's good. What he means by that is that's the clear sign of a son husband. All right, somebody that's primarily raised by their mother, a young boy that is primarily raised by their mother. Like, I saw him wearing the button. I was like, why does he have a bonnet on? Okay. This young man right here says, this is not how you handle this situation. Another man says, wrong way to address the issue. Humiliation definitely isn't the answer. This dad has a lot to learn. That means you're doing something right. Kids don't like discipline and order. Which is interesting. This comment right here. Kids don't like discipline and order. For the most part, in typical households, the man in the house is the disciplinarian and the one that keeps things in order. Typically. All right. That's not universal. That's not all the way around. And some cultures are different, but typically, this is true. And if you're in the public school education system, you might agree with this statement. Kids don't like discipline and order. All right. This young lady said, Gabe is a kid. Who cares what Gabe wants? Keep parenting your son. I hear the pain in your voice. Ah, a 12-year-old should understand that words matter. You can't just fly off the handle and say something and not expect consequences from it. All right. Let's see, with the camera in my face, I wouldn't want to come over either. This is the wrong way to handle it. Shaming the kid that made a decision like that is terrible. Don't you think he already feels bad enough? You can tell by his body language that he is scared and uncomfortable. Right feelings, wrong way to express them and confront it. That's where I'm at. Right feelings, wrong way to express it. All right. There's a lot of men that say what I said. Dad, you need to get the camera out of his face and talk to him man to man. Talk to your son. I have a daughter, and on one of my live streams, I did a series called Chats with Dad. I had a conversation with my daughter. She's 16. She'll be 17 this year. And having a conversation as a father to a young woman is a lot different than having a conversation as a father to a young man. Before I had kids, I had always envisioned on having a son and what I would say to my son and how I would raise my son. Okay. My dad, who watches my stuff, he's going to see this. My dad, when I was growing up, he was a truck driver and was home every other weekend. I didn't have any issues with it. I felt like when he was around, like we had some good times. The only thing that me and my dad disagreed on, and I've said this publicly and he's heard this, so it's not like I'm saying anything new. My dad would always come to me with stuff from a biblical standpoint. Everything with him was always, about the Bible and this is what the church would say and all this and that. And I didn't need that. I didn't need that. I wanted to know, hey, man to man, all right, or man to young man, talk to me like, you know, a father would talk to a son, not these, thous, and those, and Romans 6 and 5 and Deuteronomy 13 and 6. Like, that don't help me with, how do I talk to girls? But my dad was around. He was in my life. All right. And it was really only after I joined the military and got a little bit older did that dynamic really shift a bit. And we talk almost every day now, almost every day. But he's retired too. And again, this isn't the first time that he's heard me say this. I want to say I didn't say it directly to him, but I expressed it on a live stream because I didn't know how to necessarily directly say it to him. And also, at the age of 39, right? Your parents are still there to parent you and things like that. So it's not like I'm going into life knowing that I know everything. I still ask my dad for advice and things like that. And I'm glad to be able to have him in my life. All right. What else do we have here on the comments? People saying he's a mama's boy. Again, the hair bonnet says it all. Here's somebody right here. Big Mama 23, who said, damn, I feel bad for the boy. 30 days in misery. Okay. Bonnet, flip-flops, and hand on the hip. This is going to be somebody, a young kid that emotes. Okay. And he's getting the emotes. There's nothing wrong with expressing your emotions and your feelings. It's how you do it. You need to have that balance in your life. And what the young kids probably heard is his mom pop off on some emotional stuff and hasn't necessarily regulated her thoughts and emotions. And he felt as though he could do it too. Let me come back in here and check the comments. Pete said, give me 10 minutes and I'll be on. I'm going to say okay because I wasn't planning on being on that long. But if I'm still live, you can pop in. There's a question over here from God Happened to Me. Let me see what you said here. So, King, how would you have felt if one day your dad had grabbed his phone and recorded you saying, can you believe this, boy? I'm doing everything right and he won't accept God to his life. Michelle. Then you followed it up and said, what would your relationship look like if your dad had done that to you? It would be a strained relationship. It would be a strained relationship. It's a little bit different, okay? Because if my dad put out his phone and publicly said, can you believe this, boy? I'm doing everything right, and he won't accept God into his life, you would have people that would come on and say, well, that's his choice. I don't know. Like, that's how I think about that. In this situation, the kid was having a camera shoved in his face, being directly disrespectful to the dad. All right. God me said that there is no difference. Public humiliation is public humiliation. Not wrong. Yet I think we should bring back shame. I think shaming should happen. I think shaming should happen, and it would give people pause into what they're doing. Okay. Just like when you have these shows like To Catch a Predator, all right, a lot of those guys will come on and they'll start talking, which makes no sense to me. Like, why are you talking? Shut up and lawyer. Those should be your words. But in doing that, they're not trying to get into the psyche. They're providing they're doing a public service by shaming and highlighting people that are doing something. Now, I'm not trying to say that the two are on the same level. It's not, but we should bring back shame. Shame. The fact that he's a minor plays a little bit of a role into it. I'm not going to discount that. I'm not going to discount that. Okay. Not at all. Are there any other comments here? Let me bring this back up. I'm gonna go. Let me bring up the other comment, the other follow-up page, and see what was said in the comments on here. He has mute that. All right, and then let's get into the comments. So the comments on this one's a little bit different. You did right. Sometimes it's not the mama. Teens think that they're grown, and he'll come back around wanting there should be advice or just to talk and be there. See, what's wild is this. In this second video, I really didn't rock with a lot of what he was saying. But in this one, he's got a lot of support. Van City was somebody that commented on the prior one as well. Family Court Killer said, you did the right thing and no, they don't realize it. Well said. I know. Hey, all right, y'all, come on. Let's start. I'm not the grammar police. We can't do this. I know where you coming from. My Privacy 859 says, you have a lot of growing to do. Don't try to convince us of foolishness. Okay, here's a 62-year-old lady that said, I really appreciate your response. I'm 62, and for some reason, I can't relate to your story. I was divorced, and for me, I never ever talked bad about their father. I knew that when they got older, she might have more here, they could and would see his mistakes. I'm thankful I did. Hey, bravo to you. Hold on. Do I have a celebration sound? I don't. Bravo to you. That's actually solid. All right. Allow the child to grow up without being tainted by the other parent and draw their own conclusions about their father. All right. Let's see. You posted this for everyone to see and expected the internet not to call you out. That was abusive behavior. Another lady says right here, you're so worried about somebody telling you what to do. You're not even thinking about your son and how he feels because his feelings didn't come out of nowhere. Yeah, no, no. For this one, I want to see how the ladies are responding to this one. How have these series of videos improved your relationship with your son, though? That's a good question. You should be coming from adult wisdom. Your preteen is coming from his perspective. He should be able to come to you with anything, speak life into him. Nah, I'm unlike that. The speak life into him, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Oh, I see grooming and reviews did pop up. All right. Shout out to Hink said, what's going on, King? Hey, Hink, man, I appreciate you popping in, brother. All right. We have somebody that is going to come up here, and I like to get his perspective as well. And grooming and reviews 101. What's up, my good bearded brother?
What's going on? Before we do anything, I gotta say one thing.
This is Sparta!
Respect. I love it. That's your theme, or
Pretty
your
much, yes.
moniker. I
Yes,
like
yes.
that. So, did you see both of those videos?
I didn't see both of them, but I did listen to both of them because I was kind of in the shower, if you can't tell.
Hey, that's dope.
Yep. So, here's the thing. I grew up with a father that was a dictator almost. He said, it's my house, my way. I pay the bills. I put roof over your head. I feed you. I give you love, life. My sperm gave you what you are here today. Literally, he said those words to me. So, could it be harsh? Yeah, it could be a little harsh. Definitely in the world we're living now, like bullying and getting picked on and all this stuff, it's too much sometimes to deal with for one person. So maybe you should is a different way of taking it. Maybe sit down and have a conversation before you start saying, "Hey, I got you." I'm recording you. Look what this fucking kid did. No, it doesn't work like that. Maybe you should have a conversation instead.
What if he has done that already? And then he decided that, you know what? I want people to see. Does that change your perspective a bit?
No, because you haven't tried a different tactic. You haven't tried to have a different conversation with him. Maybe the words you said, let's say, maybe you say you are the problem, but maybe you need to change this. Maybe we are the problem, or maybe I'm the problem. Maybe the words you're saying is not connecting with him. The words are big. People say words don't hurt, but bullshit. They're fucking hurt sometimes.
You know what? I used to think that words didn't hurt, but I was the biggest herder of people's words. Words do hurt, and words matter. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I said multiple times during this live stream that I don't necessarily give people uh, a lot of grace for the words that they say. Right? If you say to me, "I don't want to have a relationship with you," or "I hate you," I don't hear "I hate you" right now. I hear "I hate you" forever, and I'm gonna be like, "All right, bet." Go enjoy life without me. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
am. I know it's not healthy. I'm just telling you that that's the way that I am.
So I understand what you're saying, and I agree and disagree at the same time. If someone tells me I hate you, it depends how they come up. Like if you told me I'm telling you go have yourself because I know you by now. You don't mean it anything by it. But if it came from some guy where I'm like, I fucking hate you, I hope you die, and we're like, yeah, we're never talking again. You're done. You're cut off from my life. I
Hmm.
realized the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, that people like that are just negativity. They're just doesn't give you anything in your life. It's poison. So why keep poisoning your life and just reject it? You grow better as a person.
God happened to me asked what state they were in. It's hard to tell. I only watched just those two videos, and I'm looking at some of his stuff now. I believe he's in Texas. I see some of the other videos that are on his page, and he highlights a lot of Texas stuff. So she asked a question about what is the consent rule for recording a person. Let's go to good old Chat GPT. And while I do that,
Cheater.
man, you don't have any kids yet. Are kids something that you want in
Actually,
life?
it's funny. Me and you had that conversation because I know your memory is small as a peanut. So I'm not gonna.
No, no, I remember what we said, but if there's people that are new here, I didn't want to put words in your mouth.
Okay, let me rephrase this better. Yes, I do want to have kids one day. I want little mini Greek Spartans running around trying to bite King's little ankles off. But yes, I do, the other thing that is a huge thing. That's a deal breaker for me. If you can't have kids or you don't want to have kids, that's a huge deal breaker to me. And I know people saying like, "Why you can't adopt?" I understand that, and it is an option, but it's not the same as having your own. I feel at least you need to have one, yours. So yes, I do want to have kids. If that answers your question.
Okay. Um, I can't put this up here without showing it, so I'm just going to read it out. Texas, when it comes to audio recording, is a one party consent state for audio recordings. That means you can legally record a conversation if you are a participant in that conversation and have obtained consent from at least one of the participants. This applies to both in person and telephone. When it comes to video, Texas has a penal code 16.02 that says that it is illegal to record or intercept communications without the consent of at least one party involved in the conversation. Violating this law could lead to criminal and civil charges. There's also an additional penal code that says it is illegal to record, photograph, or videotape someone without their consent in a location where they have a reasonable expectation of privacy, like a bathroom, a changing room, private homes. Okay. And then it follows it up and says recording or broadcasting of the private areas. So it sounds like it's a one party consent for video as well. It doesn't get specific about whether it's one party or two parties.
So the question I have behind that is because the kid is a minor, correct?
Yes, 12 years old.
So the laws are completely different for minors. How will that break down?
Who?
Am I
Okay,
right or wrong?
let's see. What if the party is a minor? Question mark, period. So, like it's interesting because social media in general, right? Like my kid and I have had a conversation to where, and I didn't like it at first. She said she doesn't want me posting her without her consent. And I'm like, I'm your father. If I want to post you, damn it, I'm going to post you. And that rubbed me off. I actually was like, I'm not going to say I retaliated because that's the wrong word. But I was like, oh, okay. If I got to ask you to post something, I'm never going to post anything. What I look like asking my kid to do something. Let's see. So when it comes to
So does that mean
minors, there is additional consideration given the age and legal status. So though it says the one party consent rule still applies. If you are a participant in the conversation with the minor, you can legally record the conversation without the minor's explicit consent. If you are not a participant in the conversation, you need to have at least one party's consent to record it legally. And when it says parental consent, it is generally advisable to obtain parental or guardian consent when recording a conversation with a minor, even if that minor consents, to avoid legal complications. Um, I'm looking for anything about what if you're the parent or guardian, and it doesn't highlight that here.
So that's a tricky question, in other words, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think that it's a to what
So
that
if I
happened to
had
me
a
is highlighting
guess,
that it's tricky.
and I'm sorry to cut you off, if I had a guess off my ass, and I would say it's probably based case on case because every case is different. Like if they're just joking around and a kid goes, "You can't record me," you throw out a complaint. That's different.
Hmm.
But if it's something like that, I think it's case on case. So does this mean again? I'm just throwing things out of my ass. I need to get my dog's permission before I post pictures of him too.
Hey man, one of these days is gonna get that way. Soon we're gonna have to get artificial intelligence permission before we can post anything. All right, that's right around the corner. Shout out to Angie Trust over on Facebook. Said, "Yo, I thought about how I've been missing your lives the other day. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've done one besides the Monday panel. I do the one with Michelle, aka God Happened to Me, on the King and Me show. That's every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I do the men's panel with Precious shortly after that on Mondays as well. And it's been a minute since I've had my own vlogs. I'm trying to find the right rhythm to do this. Like, this is a random live stream on a Thursday. Thursdays really aren't good days for me, but I had the time and opportunity. And I thought that this video was a good one to at least have a discussion on because I agree with what the guy said in how he expressed his feelings. I don't agree with him filming his son. I think he should have pointed the camera towards him and expressed it and had his conversation from his point of view to the internet.
Or
And
catch 22, King. He could be doing like both of them.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that'd be more mutual. To be honest, it's like taking a picture of you right now without your permission. You might be upset. You might not be. I know a lot of people without you don't like taking pictures without the permission. Like, yo, what the fuck, dude? And I know other half like 50-50 makes like, I don't give a shit. It's a picture. What can I do?
in your opinion, do you think that that was a teachable moment?
What the picture thing? I mean, or recording part?
The specifically what he did, do you think his kid learned anything?
No, no, absolutely not. He probably says he's gonna take him a big fu right now. The other finger, but he give him a big fu, and he's gonna retaliate more. Whatever he did, I didn't catch up on what he did, but let's say it was some of these, I don't know, breaking a vase for argument's sake. Now he's gonna break 3 vases because he put them on video. If he says be home at 9 o'clock, he's not gonna come home at 9 o'clock. He's gonna retaliate more. More you push back, more you embarrass the kid, more they're gonna push back even harder to them. Kids can retaliate really harsh.
What do you think about the fact that this man has 7 kids with more than one woman, it seems?
Put goddamn rubber on it.
Nice. I like the sound effects.
I up my game, so
Bravo, man. Soon you're gonna have more subscribers than me, brother.
well, you guys switch to OBS. That's the only thing I would say. I think somebody in the chat will agree with me.
Hey, the one thing that I like to add, Pete, man, is we should keep this up. Like, people should be open about communicating their thoughts without fear of how people are going to think about it. Like, if I say that I agree with what the guy said, not necessarily with what he did, and then somebody comes down my throat, it's like, look, my opinion. Ooh, pause. Hold on. Pause.
Pause.
I don't know if you caught or what I said when I said somebody come down my throat. Let me hold on.
Yeah, I
Pause,
caught it.
nigga.
Pause.
I got it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna really let him have it. Show him my stuff. Give that man everything I got.
Pause.
Anyway, Angie said, my daughter has posted so many videos of me and Mike on her Snapchat that I was unaware because I don't have that app. But I've actually never thought about asking them for permission to post them. but I'm thoughtful about what I share. I know what they wouldn't like. And that's the other part, is being thoughtful about what they wouldn't like. And that's what rubbed me the wrong way when my daughter said that she wants to have consent before I would post anything with her. And I'm over here like, I'm your father. I've been in technology longer than you. I also would not post anything that would be embarrassing in nature of you. So if you really think that you would need consent of from me or consent from her to me, then you don't trust my judgment. Like that's how I felt. I'm like, wait, you don't trust my judgment. That's how I felt. I felt like she didn't trust my judgment. But you know what? She's her own person. I have plenty of stuff that I've, posted things like that. But actually, as I'm
So
talking, I'm getting more angry about having to have consent to post my own kid that I don't think I'm gonna be posting much more of it anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I shouldn't have to ask my own child, hey, is it okay if I post this to me and you? No. Sorry.
so here's the thing, dude. With the generations we grew up in, I know we grew up a little different because you grew up in the South, right, King?
Yes.
I grew up more European, New Yorker. So we grew up different. So me asking if I tell my dad, I need permission. You need permission to take a picture. I get a backhand so hard, I become sperm again, literally. Just saying. But raising your daughter different, and the state you're in is a different mentality. The
Mhm.
mentality we grew up in is different. These kids are. I'm just listening to some of these conversations some of these kids are having. Through YouTube. Walking. I live literally across the street from a high school, and they're always hanging out in the area. I'm like, did you really just say that out loud? Some of the things you're hearing now, like a kid does not need your consent to do things anymore. Some of the things.
Hmm.
Actually, it comes down to their sexuality. If they want something out of it, in Texas, I know for a fact they don't need it. If you stop it, you can go to prison because you don't agree with something and you think your son or kid needs to put more time in it. I'm a big believer. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it before you jump the gun.
Hmm.
Because sometimes some things are not reversible, like like tattoo. Use a tattoo for a good example. You get one, it's not that it doesn't come off of soapy water or creams. It's pretty much permanent. If you do get a removal, it's going to still be a scar there.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it, think about it, think about it, think about it before you actually say yes. Like my father, next to my mother, my father didn't really know I was getting one actually. When I got my first tattoo, was my Greek flag right here, and my mom says, "Listen, I don't care you get one, but I want you to wait till you're at least 21." I'm like, okay, that's a fair deal, I thought. And I'm glad I did because at 18 and anything younger, I don't think I was ready for it.
Um, you just said something where you say, think about it, think about it, think about it. I have a different version of that. For me, I always say, don't make an emotional decision when it comes to something. I I can't think of a time in my life where I made an emotional decision and it paid off. Can't think of one.
But what I'm saying, thinking about it and emotion, isn't it same under the same category?
Uh, a little bit. I think it's slightly different. Like, I think if you're thinking about it, think about it, think about it, you're doing more risk analysis on something, right? But it can still be an emotional thing tied to it because you might have an uh, I small stupid example. I had this one shirt that I had an emotional attachment to. Had it for like 15 years, okay? But because I was wearing it and washing it and different things like that, it never really shrunk. That shirt was dingy and dirty, but it was one of my favorite shirts. Why did I keep it? I had no business keeping it, but I was keeping it because I had an emotional attachment to it. Eventually, ended up having to donate it or give it or throw it away because the shirt served no purpose.
So I never had the attachment to a shirt, but I have something similar, like a pair of earrings that my grandmother gave me before she passed away.
Hmm.
So to me, they were means the world to me. I have some jewelry from her and stuff like that. So I get where you're coming from. Some of like those earrings are so beat up now. Like there's even no point in me wearing them anymore. But I still have them because of the meaning behind it.
Yeah. What specifically, going back to the video, would you have done different?
Like I said, I would sit down and talk to them. That's the one thing I learned from you and CQ is having a conversation. You guys always tell me that because you both are fathers, and that's the same conversation. Sit down and talk to your child. Don't embarrass them. Don't yell at them. It doesn't solve anything. I might not have kids, but I worked with kids in the past
Hmm.
in my cooking as a supervisor, a chef, whatever. And I get more out of them if I have a conversation with them, like I am now with you. Not yelling, explain to them why I want it done and this and why. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. I have to explain myself 3 or 4 times, but I get through them like that. I get more out of that than saying, "Get it done now." It doesn't work anything. You're just wasting your breath and energy for no reason.
Okay. All right, good deal. Well, hey man, that's all I have for this live stream. Is there anything that you had on your brain that you want to bring up prior to us closing out the live?
Don't yell and grow a beard.
Don't yell, grow a beard. All right. Well, hey, grooming and reviews 101. Thank you for those of y'all who aren't following him on YouTube and Facebook. Is
Yep, I
it
have
the
a Facebook
same?
group. Yep,
Yep.
and
So,
my TikTok also.
oh, I didn't know that you had a TikTok, man. After we get done, I'm gonna go and well, actually, I think I am following your TikTok. I just don't see your stuff. I need
Small
to
memory. Small memory.
I need to work on the algorithm so that it comes up. But
You need to work on getting on this stream a lot more, and don't keep me bullshit. You don't have excuses because you have time. You just
I
need to
got
make
you,
it.
man. Hey, I got you. Look, uh, time has been limited. It's been a while since I've done my own. This has been my first own live stream in about 2.5 months. I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. I've been doing the thing touching grass where I've been going out doing 3 miles a day. I'm trying to get active into the gym. That's part of what my channel going forward is going to be about. It's going to be more of the vlogs, more showing just the average person making decisions in life to be better. And because I'm in some groups and things where men are talking and they don't have anybody to say, hey, like I can't be the only one. It's like, no, there are other people out there. You just gotta connect. So I want to
That's my
use my
point of my Wednesday show. If you realize
Mhm.
it, it's people connecting from different parts of life, and let's have a conversation, a healthy, good conversation. We might disagree and argue, but at the end of the day, we're on the same level.
Now. How many days of the week do you? Because you do Monday. I've seen you Wednesday, and you have a
I don't do
Saturday.
Mondays.
Okay,
I
you don't do
do
Monday.
Wednesday, two on Wednesday usually. I do my
Okay.
fitness one, and I do my Spartan Arena. Spartan Arena is all games are on. You can talk about anything is open. I do one on Saturday. My hangout it's a fun one. We debate about DC versus Marvel or uh, Apple versus Android and so
Mhm.
on. It's more for debate stuff like but fun debates and so on, or just having good healthy conversation about. We were last week. I think we were talking about text message and like how it evolved over the years.
Yeah.
This week we're talking about Tyson versus Jack Paul. I'm actually looking forward to that conversation. And on Sunday, me and my buddy do a show called The Gray Area. It's breaking the wall down from a white Greek versus a black American. Is we all have the same, we come from the same thing in the day.
Yeah. We all breathe the same air,
You
right?
might not like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway.
That's
If I
it.
cut my arm, you cut my arm, blood comes out. We all come from the same God.
Okay. All right. You're right. I don't agree, but
Ding.
uh-oh. Is what side effects you got?
Okay, let's see. Mini money.
Yeah, yeah. And as somebody that has literally traveled around the world, I've got an understanding that while we have different thoughts and different customs and culture, we all still breathe the same air. We all still,
I agree.
bleed blood, right? So I don't see a reason why we can't be accepting and understanding of. Actually, you don't even have to accept somebody else's culture. You can at least have an understanding of it. Like if some cultures they do things that we consider vile and disgusting over here, we don't have to accept it, but at least having an understanding of it
Like
can
one
help
of my
things
best
go a long way.
episodes on the gray area was with Father Costantino. My priest actually came on, and we had a whole hour about it.
Yeah.
And I got such good feedback about it. People were like, "Wow, we didn't realize Greek culture is like that." Like, yeah, people see the outside part of it, like the Greek movie ones and all that stuff. That's not really what Greek is about. It's caring and loving each other. That's what we are. You know me for wow. I don't might be you're a pain in the ass, but I'm a loving pain in the ass.
That's what's up, man. Good deal. Well, hey, Pete from Grooming and Reviews 101. I appreciate you popping in, brother. I'm about to DOS boot you and close out the show, man. Hey, you know that you're always welcome over here anytime, and I know I'm welcome over to your platform as
If
well
you ever make
anytime,
time.
man. All right, brother. Hey, thanks for joining.
Later.
Peace. All right. That is my live stream for today. I thought that coming up and sharing that video, I was curious what other people might say about it. Okay, if you missed the first part or the first half of the live stream, I played this guy here and what he did where he put his son on blast. Basically, his son at some point said, "I hate it here." Okay, and the dad put the camera onto the son saying, "You know what? I do a lot for you, little boy." And for you to come out and say that ain't cool. Now there were a lot of people that talked about the kid's attire, all right, why he's wearing a bonnet, why he has his hand on his hip like that. I'm not gonna get into that. Okay. He has another video here where he says bitter baby mamas hate to see a father and child bond. The guy looks like he played football, could play football. He's got he built like a running back, all right, or somebody that plays football. 7 kids by multiple baby mamas. Again, it's gonna be hard to have influence on your kid's life, even if you're in their life, but they're not under the same roof as you. Like Nick Cannon, I don't know if all of his kids live with him, okay, but as they get older, what kind of influence are you going to have if you're every other weekend dad and your significant others have other men that come into their life to where those other men could have more influence than you? All right, that's all I'm saying. If you hadn't hit the like button yet, hit that like button. For you, to everybody that tuned in and commented live, thank you very much. Again, I was streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Perry Production, Twitch, Kick, LinkedIn, all of them. So if you catch this on the replay, hit that like button as well. Y'all, be sure to tune in as I'm going to be putting out more vlogs as I'm traveling, doing things, and have a lot to say. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.